What's up, good people? It's your boy C. Wit from Boys to Gentlemen. As always, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and go ahead and click the bell so you can be notified anytime we drop new videos. What's up, good people? It's your boy C. Wit from Boys to Gentlemen, and here is another episode of Share My Mic. For those of you who don't know, this is a platform where we are engaging people that are out there simply doing their thing. I had the opportunity to be on this young man's podcast, and I had a blast. So I felt like the best thing I could do is return the favor and have him come on and bless this audience with the opportunity to hear just what it is that he's got going on. And I already approved this to you, so don't think I'm being funny. I want to introduce my man Darius Tramel. David, I had to put the whole government in there. Thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. Thank you so much, sir. So we're going to jump straight into this thing. I want you to talk to me. Who is Darius Tramel Davis?
First off, let me say thank you. Thank
Very
you so
welcome,
much.
Sir.
Man, I had a heck of a time on the other platform. But to the question, who am I? My name's Darius. Some folks do call me Young D. I've been called Young D the Monster. In my heyday, they did call me D Money. But who cares about nicknames? You had plenty of places you could be, but you here right now, posted up with me and Chris Daughtry, a.k.a. C. Dot, a.k.a. C Money, a.k.a. the Bad Boys, a.k.a. From Boys to Gentlemen.
Oh, that boy
Not
is
Boys
sitting
to
with...
Men, don't get it twisted, no Wanye. I'm so excited to be here. I'm on 10. Excited to be here, man. Thank you for having me. But no,
Awesome.
My name is Darius. I do a podcast. Hey, I do that.
This is facts.
I do that. So y'all please tune in. I'm sure we'll figure out a way to post it, share it, like it. And I'm here thankful to be on now, share my mic, getting to touch some faces that maybe I haven't seen. I'm nobody special, but we are all someone special. And I think that we all have a voice. One reason that I really felt like it was important for me to do the podcast, and people always ask me, and I'm not trying to hop ahead, but they ask, Darius, what even made you want to do a podcast of all things? I said,
Darius, what made you want to do a podcast out of all things?
The answer is, I feel like we as humans, and I can't even speak as we as humans, me, myself, I have more to say than 40 characters or in more than a paragraph that you're probably willing to read, but you might be willing to listen to. And I feel like sometimes, so even in the science of just scrolling, you might not even read it technically. You might just look at it. You might not even read it technically. But if we're in a podcast and we're hitting point, and we're having that discussion, then maybe some things can get addressed and clarity. I think clarity is important.
Variety is the spice of life. Some people are audio learners. Some people are visual. So giving people that opportunity, I love it. So I'm putting you on the spot. What has been, excluding mine, I ain't even going to put me in the mix right now. We still trimming that up. What has been your favorite topic to address on your podcast?
Ooh, man, so we're almost 10 episodes in. We've got a 10th one dropping here very, very soon. And we've been over such a crazy range of subjects. That's a tough one. I would say our dive into flour was probably our most viewed one. Just because we not just took the traditional route of, cataracts. My back. We took a more. We looked into the Bible for some verses on that episode.
Oh, you got biblical with it. Okay,
and,
all right.
We wanted more than one source. So we went to religious. Then we went to legal, where there are millions in jail for, non-violent offenses, if you will. And talking about.
And just in case some of my listeners are slow right now, when he says the flour, he's talking about marijuana. Everybody not gonna catch that. I don't want to just make it Simple. Let's make it simple and plain. We talking about marijuana.
Hey, I was just thinking in my head what had the most like kind of listens and ears quickly, and we didn't even like it's not like on the screen. It just happened to be that episode. It's actually episode 7.
Okay.
If you want to listen in, and but yeah, that was a fun one because we went government, we went religious, and then we went,
Just personal. Yeah.
personal. And I would never be on anyone's platform just out here incriminating anybody. But we went personal experience, and we dived in a little bit. So it was interesting. I got some good feedback. So that's what's up. But the one main point for me was that it doesn't, and I got a lot of feedback on this one, was how can it be illegal 3 hours? I know there's an imaginary line breaking a state, but if it's completely legal 3 hours away, how is that like a thing? And somebody's making money off of it. Oh, wow. Wow. So you already know where that follow the money.
Yeah, that paper trail. And we're not talking about the papers that you roll with either.
But then ours, honestly, because and I've even said it publicly, that is the most important episode that I've done to this date, for sure. We can have fun, and we've had a lot of fun on the pod. I'm definitely getting some of my own personal endeavors off on the pod. We're trying to publicly show love to some business owners that we know out there on the pod. But we're also calling out some hypocrisy politically, which I'm so glad to be almost done with. But at that point, we needed it, and I wasn't scared of it.
Say, hang on here.
You about to lose that job. You about to lose that job. Get this thing. You about to lose that job. Oh my goodness. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Cause you are entertaining me for nothing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose.
And they weren't listening.
Hey, you already opened the door, so we're gonna go ahead and step in. I'm only 35 years old.
It's tomorrow.
I have never in my life seen. I just correction on live. I have to be corrected. I'm lying. I have seen this before. I've seen this in episodes of Scandal and other TV shows to the level of foolishness that is allowed to actually, like, I never thought I would have to sit down and question whether this debate or this address coming from the President of the United States is acceptable for a child to sit and listen to. It's nuts, and I speak for myself. I definitely want to hear where you're coming from. My biggest struggle isn't his mess ups, all the drama and all the extra. Where I struggle, living in Abilene, Texas, you got young Hispanic kids that are listening to people boldly chant, build the wall, and then expect to continue a healthy level of education. You have people that are experiencing so many different travesties and the insensitivity that emboldens other people. It's not just the man in the individual, but the mindset that he's open takes it to a whole new level. On one part, I'm grateful for it because I know that a lot of people have been exposed. And then the other part is we don't have the support for those who aren't psychologically and mentally or just have that age maturity available for them to process what the United States president is saying on Twitter. Like, we ain't even talking about an address. Jeez. On Twitter. Yeah. So that's the point that we're coming to. Talk to me about what has it been like these past 4 years for you personally under this presidency?
So it's interesting because, you mentioned the Scandal thing. Have you seen House of Cards?
I didn't. I was about to start it, and then I start watching Blacklist. So we
Okay.
gonna have to get into House of
Well,
Cards.
well, yeah. It's just you couldn't even imagine or think that some of the stuff is real. It's almost like if you were a different kind of person, you might think that you're in a simulation almost. Like this cannot be what I am living through. The stuff that people are allowed to say, the people that are saying, um, man. As far as the last 4 years, it really only hasn't escalated for me until this last year. I feel like 2020 was the year that was 3.5 years long.
Yeah.
As far as, I mean, I remember that first week of the George Floyd incident, say his name, George Floyd. I remember that first week and seeing that man brutally murdered in front of
Mm,
all of our eyes on Facebook. God rest his soul. And I
mm.
remember the wars that the social, you could call it a war zone in them comments that for the first few weeks was not a fun experience. I talk about, yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to talk about. I'm
It's hard to
I'm
talk about, but
I'm with you.
overall, I'm with you. I love that point you made about the lines. You didn't say it exclusively, but I heard it as the lines being drawn. Like, okay, that's fine if you feel over there. And and I'm not trying to jump ahead again, but this whole thing about potentially voting third party. We're not going to talk about who we're voting for, but we can talk about the candidates. Third party, whoever you decide to vote for a third party, and about wasting your vote. I'm married. I told my wife. In my head, it's like a line being drawn. Here's the line. There's them over there. There's them over there, and then there's people over there standing. There's a lot of folks lining up on this side of the line, and they need everybody they can to defeat that other side of the line. They need everybody. And if you stand on that side of the line, we love you. If we get to 5% Libertarian Party, it opens doors. But at the end of the day, there's a line being drawn. And if you haven't voted, tomorrow's the day that there's some folks standing on that other side, and they need everybody they can on this side. So I'm not telling nobody who to vote for. I don't care who you vote for. I never said which side's which. You know what I'm saying? But they're lined up. So that's as far as the last 4 years, it comes down to tomorrow. So we'll see.
Whew. And I think the
Scary
I
hours out here.
love that you include the third party and just the process of everything. I speak for myself, even again personally. I was extremely ignorant to politics till probably Obama. I wasn't interested because I wanted to watch NBA. I wanted to watch Martin.
It's good. I love the NBA. Shout out the NBA. I love
So,
it.
I mean, to really sit back and for the first time understand, I think what really turned the corner for me was watching 13th, the documentary. And when you start to understand
I got a
some of the
confession.
things that were done
Mm.
and things that are continuing to be done,
Mm.
podcasts like yours scream out to me because I feel like that's the place where you can have that honest conversation without ulterior motives to say, hey, we're gonna put information out there and we're gonna start the critical thinking process instead of me trying to gear you. When people listen, one of the things I'm always focused on, even with From Boys to Gentlemen, like I want to know what your definition of respect is. I can't really respect you, even when I work with my kids. I can't respect them if I don't know what their definition of respect is. So I have to understand that. I have to be willing to listen and learn. Then I can communicate that same thing back. Because many times I'm going to have to model that for the person that I'm dealing with. And I think that is the only way with platforms like yours and some of the things and conversations that you offer. That's the only way we get to that point where I can 100% be ignorant to what you got going on. And you're able to give me information and I get to sit back, think about it, and I can engage in conversation. I can either ask questions, I can give my perspective, I can give my experience, but then I sit back and allow you to do the same thing. it has to be modeled that way instead of me being so married to a political party or me so connected. Like I had Democrats pissed at me, I had Republicans pissed at me,
Everybody's
liberals,
getting some.
they mad. But I'm sitting back like, you're not just finna push. Like, I'll say names. Like, as far as Biden and Trump, don't come at me like you just presented a clear-cut choice with that. Because if we want to go into some of the policies and positions that Biden has standed on, y'all want to talk about the grab them by the P comment? Hey, we can also talk about the crime bill that you were a part of under the Clinton administration. So they're all fair game. And honestly, one affected me a lot more than the other, if we're going to be honest about it. So, I mean, it comes...
The interesting thing about data for me these days is, number one, that it's so interesting that you can find any numbers to back up a view. And it's almost like they have it to, like, almost on purpose, where it's like, if we can give them a number to back it up, then they'll believe it. And
that's how we're geared. We have established statistics as proof. Yeah. Instead of them just being material, something that you could collect, something that you put out there. So I'm not trying to take away from data or anything like that, but I feel like data is like gas. What vehicle did you put it in? Because it's going to help that vehicle go. Because regardless of whether it's in the truck, in the car, and whatever, that fuel, that data can be put into a vehicle that's going to go north, south, east, west. And I think
there's a lot of variables.
You hit the nail on the head. Like, I can take a specific number and turn it around and be 100% accurate with it and be as dishonest as possible at the same time with the exact
that number
same...
to lie to me. You literally pulled that number from Google. You said, okay, I'll find the stat where there's more blah, blah, blah.
Yes, because I can come out and say 75% of this. But what I didn't tell you was I did that in this secluded place when I gave you these numbers. Like, this is accurate, but it's still disingenuous because of the sample size and just the different mindsets that we hold as people. So let me ask you this question, because I'm sure my people want to hear.
Sure.
Bucket list.
Sheesh.
Before you finish, if you ever do, this might be to the day you die or wherever you go, who are the 3 people that you have to have on your podcast before you can hang it up? The 3 people. I'm putting pressure. What is it? Who are they? Give me 3.
3 people to have on the podcast before I hang
You gotta have them. You don't feel complete without them.
I'm on a 10-year deal, right?
Oh! So, I'm okay, for sake of time, we're gonna say 3. So you better have like 25. But for the sake of time, give me the top 3.
Man. Oh man, 3. That's really tough because I have like I got a laundry list, brother. A laundry
First 3 that came to you, no particular order.
Barack Obama, Yo Martez.
Hey, shout out to Yo Martez.
And the 3rd, I got a shout out to the Queen, so probably like Lauryn Hill.
Oh!
Give me like just a 15-minute. I mean, my sister-in-law is I'll put her on blast. My sister-in-law is white and has Lauryn Hill tatted on her. Like this lady touches souls in places like that. Yeah, they don't.
Doesn't even matter at all.
Yeah.
Like, Lauren is a true gem. Queen. She does not, like, you want to talk about age. She doesn't age in regards to her content that she has blessed us with. You can listen to Lauryn Hill in your car right now the same way you did in 95 when she dropped it. Like, there is no fall off. Yo, hey, I love that. And shout out to Yo Martez. If you listen to this, I want you on here too, because that brother is doing some amazing things right here in Abilene, Texas.
We love black business, man.
We love it. So we definitely want to get him on here and promote his brand and things that he's doing. So I'm going to give you a closing thought. When it comes down to which a platform that you have, some of the gears and the focuses that you have, I'm gonna let you know we're gonna end the session talking about the tournament. Shout out to to my boy, y'all got the tournament coming in. But as far as your podcast goes,
Sure.
what is the real got you moment as far as the goal? Like, if I really had to come with my elevator pitch to tell you what's my focus, what's my genuine why behind your podcast, what is it?
I love that you had the pillars. So, and I've actually had kind of my own quote unquote pillars, but I'm going to try and keep them down to just 3.
Okay.
Cause I'm still working through it. You know, I'm still in season 1, so I am still trying to feel it out, see what fits, what I'm comfortable. But my main purpose and goal on the podcast, number 1, to call out hypocrisy. If I see it, you said it, I can document it. One great episode or part is I do this little clip of Lindsey Graham, like literally.
Don't do it.
One thing. Shout out Lindsey
Don't do
Graham.
it.
I got Jamie
Use
Hurst.
my words against me. We will. We definitely will.
Bruh. When I see hypocrisy, I want to be able to call out hypocrisy. 2, I want to be able to spread love. One of the bags I like to get into on the podcast is the encouragement bag. Like, even if it's just like, let's take 4 seconds, listeners, and let's just be quiet and listen to your brain, and we just take like that 4 seconds and then get into that encouragement. Like, you are here right now, and I appreciate you being here right now. You might be at the gym, you might be at work, you might be getting this money. However you get this money, please get it. You know, and I'm just getting in that bag. You know, just shot. So, spreading love, calling out hypocrisy, and last but not least, man, just showing putting people on, man. Just like you share my mic, man. Like, whatever I can do to put the people on, man.
I love it.
Some love, show love.
That's how we gonna get there. Like, to see young people. Hey, I want to take my last little minute before I pass it completely over you to shout out the tournament and just let people know how to get to the podcast and all of that. But what I want to say to you personally, bro, I'm proud of you. Like, I am super proud of you. I'm grateful. I'm honored to be on your platform. Thank you for doing what you're doing, because those 3 things, hey, we all on the team. And every part is needed. So I'm grateful for the voice that you have, but I'm also grateful for the voice that you lend, allowing other people to speak. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you, and I'm super proud of you, bro. So close out. Let us know about how we can get to the podcast.
All right.
Give us all the info on that, and tell us about that tournament coming up so we can make sure we support.
All right, real quick, we'll get selfishly over the me part. My name is Darius Tramel Davis. Yes, there's a lot of Dariuses. Yes, there's a lot of Darius Davises. But I promise you, not too many Darius Tramel Davises. You type it into Facebook, you can find
ETD.
me. If you follow Chris Daughtry, I'm a mutual friend. Darius Tramel Davis on Facebook. IG, please, if you love me, if you don't care, or you just want to keep up with me, The Dojo X Young D. It's easy. The Dojo X Young D. It's got a little bit of traffic. You should be able to pop me up there on Instagram, Twitter, Young D the Monster. Everything else, you got to find me for it. Shout out to Evolve 1423. Evolve 1423. They're hosting a tournament. Show up, show out. They've got crazy amount of vendors already. I could go over the list. Shout out to Michael Brennan putting it on. It's the first weekend at the new Dodge Jones Center, Abilene, Texas. Believe it's December 4th and 5th. It should be a great time. Shoot. Oh, yes, the podcast. How you can find the podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, the app. Give me Pocket Cast, Radio Republic. We everywhere, baby. Just type in Apple. Everybody got an iPhone. Got an iPhone? Go to Apple Podcasts. Type, you don't? Okay. How about The Dojo Times Young D? If you don't got an iPhone, you got Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay. The Dojo Times Young D. We on Spotify. I like it. And then, yes, YouTube. I hear you. I'm coming. But shout out C-Dot for having me. I appreciate it so much. Shout out to you.
Hey, man. Thank you so much.
Peace,
I
King.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm taking the mic back. This was Darius Tramel Davis. Thank you so much for being on. Y'all check out that podcast. I'm going to be blasting it out. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your voice. And we taking the mic back. Have a great night, brother.
Appreciate that.